days ago, this person finished his career at the Department of Defense as one of the senior covert intelligence officers in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. I think you need to really listen carefully to what he says. And I still, even working our way up to today, I get the chills when you say it. So I want you to all meet
Lou Elizondo. Would you come to the stage?
I promise I will try not to yammer on too long. But I think the same time next year, we're going to have a fundamentally different conversation. I think disclosure already occurred. I don't think necessarily disclosure is an event. I think it's a process. And I think that process began.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
I can't comment on anything he's told other people. The only way we can get anything that he has shared to other people is if he gives permission to them to share it, because he's protected under those same laws. But I have a whole range. I've got almost 40 other people that have come in and provided a lot of rich information that we've been investigating and cross-referencing and researching and trying to figure out the truth of it. And again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that is what's going to go into Volume 1.
Yeah, I mean, I was making a joke and saying it looks like Kermit the Frog.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to a fine, luxurious evening. It's probably the end of days as you know it. The countdown is almost over. We are on the verge. We're on the nipple end of that flying saucer in the background. In the backyard. Speaking of backyard, let's get my boys from the backyard.
What's up, dude?
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Nick, how you doing, boys?
I'm confused by this ufology business, man. It's all over the place lately, dude.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I got a thinking in the beginning of the week because I knew I was going away with work, and I thought, what am I going to do? Because I know what we're going to on Friday. We've got Rekka coming on talking about his adventures in Peru with Timothy Alberino. Timothy can't make it, but Rekka's going to be discussing all that, and that is this Sunday, people. So don't miss out on that. There you go. There is the thumbnail for that one.
That one's really good too.
Thumbnail.
Yeah,
that's really good. Thumbnail, man.
Yeah, that's
awesome. I kind of like that one maybe better than the last one, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It takes some work, that one. Yeah. Some maybe a little bit of help from a little friend called the name begins with A and ends with I. Just a little bit, smidge help.
Yeah,
you just said it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. Go ahead, Nick.
You got to either embrace it or you're buggered.
You know what I was going to... Sorry, man. Sorry, go ahead, Ollie.
No, what was you going to say?
I was just going to describe ufology, what it's like at the moment. It's almost like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. The way how Disney is at the moment, it's like almost set to fail. I don't know if any of you are into like Marvel movies or pay attention to what like the Disney or anything like that. It's like failing measurably.
A full Marvel film.
Okay, right. Okay, then forget what I just said then. But
I can't seem to get along with it.
What
I'm
what's
gonna
it about it you
when
don't
my
like?
little boys are older, I'll probably watch them.
Yeah.
Well, it's I don't want to go into like wokeism and all that sort of stuff, but that sort of side has really ruined Disney
Mm.
to a certain degree. I mean, is that the stocks has gone down, it's lost billions of subscribers. It's really gone down the pan because it's just the amount of shit they put forward, and
I
it's
wa- I
really
watched I
getting.
watched Iron Man. That was good.
Yeah, those
Well,
movies
that's a
are
good
awesome,
start. Good
yeah.
The
start.
original one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think people are getting sick of superhero movies because it's getting nowhere basically. You know, it's the same sort of routine, like the same sort of cycle. And this is what's happening with ufology. It's the same thing. It's a big up, and then it's just a big disappointment. And that is Disney in a nutshell. That's the way I look at it.
I genuinely did mean the thumbnail though, that ufology is about to change. I do feel like we're heading for a fucking giant fucking kick up the backside. I
What do you
don't
mean,
know
like in
where
a bad
that's
way?
What do you
um
mean?
I do feel like we're gonna get something. 100%. I feel like we're gonna get something. I felt like that way for a few years now, and I think we've had this gradual. Whether you believe these people behind the scenes, you know, like the Lou Elizondos, the David Grush, the David Fravers, the Ryan Graves, um, the stories coming from the Navy people,
Hmm.
it does feel like all this is for a reason, all of it. I don't, I refuse to believe that it is all one giant, and so many channels these days are talking about this, a giant grift. I just don't think, I don't see it. I don't see it standing up that long. People, I keep hearing people saying this, that this has gone on forever. People have done this forever. Not on this scale, they haven't. I'm sorry they haven't. You've had newspapers, you've had comic books, you've had all that. You've had a few TV programs back before the internet, but not on the grand scale of things. Now,
Hmm.
people going on people's podcasts and things like that. I can see how that can get people popular, and they can write a book. But I believe in, if you're here watching this channel right now and you're heading over to the Cosmic Twilight's channel, to Terrestrial Materials channel, which you want to get both these guys to over 300 subs by the end of the year, people, to make their day. So go ahead on over after the show and subscribe. You can always subscribe now. It's in the description, people. There's a reason why we do this. Not everybody's here to debunk.
Hmm.
You know, there is a reason why we're here. There's a reason why you're watching this show now. There's a reason why you're in the chat. There's a reason why you clicked on this fucking thumbnail. There's a belief there.
Agreed.
And I think that's what people need to start remembering.
Yeah, the history is important. I mean, you make a good point. We definitely haven't had this much like media attention and like the general public paying attention. All of those things are correct. I think that the repeating that people talk about though is the kind of the process, and especially if you take Congress outside of it. Project Blue Book was very similar. You know, they
Mhm.
established that to go ahead and study these cases and look at what was going on. And prior to that, they had I believe it was Grudge was after Sign, and Grudge was kind of all about them figuring that there could be these foreign powers that would take advantage of people seeing all these UFOs and what could cause. So we've had like these organizations put together by the military industrial complex over time. And what's really interesting is what happened after Blue Book was, I think it was Ed Ruppelt, if I'm remembering his name right, Edward Ruppelt. He leaves after Blue Book, retires, and goes to Northrop Aircraft Company. Now Sean Kirkpatrick is leaving Arrow, and he's potentially going to Northridge Lab, Battelle. And so there are some repetitions here that we definitely do see, Ollie. I mean, I agree with you. This has never been talked like this before. But We can't forget our history, man. We got to see that we've seen a lot of this happen before. And Wright Air Force or Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is always seems to be, whether it's Patel connection or this is where these guys came from, that always seems to be home base with a lot of this stuff, man. It's so weird.
Recently, I have been wondering, you know, a few of the people being discredited that we've seen over the years, like when you look at Lou and his disappearance, I know he's probably going to make a comeback when the book gets released. People say that everything he's done is bad for ufology. Ufology. And I was thinking about this the other day, hence why the intro started off with Lou. Is he really that bad? Has he really done the worst things for ufology? Ufology? Has he really done that? Or has he done his job?
I mean, it depends on what his job is.
He may be part of the structure of it, the way it's supposed to go.
I mean, it's possible, but like, where is it going though? I mean, we're still
He told
evidence,
everybody
Holly,
this.
you know?
He told everybody that he was doing a job. He said, "I don't. I mean, the classic thing that Rich has deleted from his. I feel like finding it for him and sending him it. But that classic clip, you know, that he's a counter-intelligence agent, blah 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 blah.
Came in 2008. Yeah.
I think he's just telling you the truth there. I genuinely think that is him telling you the truth. I think some of these people they're being paid to do a job, and that's the key to this. Why are they being paid to do this job?
But that's the thing, you're going to get the truth from Lou. I mean, he said he's not a UFO guy. I'm not a UFO guy. I never would, never will. But he's got this book coming out claiming that he's a UFO expert. I mean, this guy is a trained liar. I'm sorry, but when you work for the CIA and counterintelligence and that sort of field, when you Google it, if you look, guys, into that sort of field, his aspect of counterintelligence, you'll see they are born liars. They are actors. Again, he's put himself on this bloody pedestal and he hasn't proven anything. What? ATIP. You know, have news that actually ever existed. This is the thing. You know, he hasn't backed up anything. And I just wouldn't trust the fucking guy.
I see what you're saying there, Nick, because that's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people just don't ask themselves why Tom DeLonge? Why was Tom picked? You know, it was Tom that much of a fucking genius that he, you know, once he left Blink 182 and got Angels and Airwaves, which actually have a couple of pretty decent songs.
I love their first two albums, dude. Yeah, it's probably the best shit Tom ever did.
Yeah. This guy was just all of a sudden coming out with this company and attracting all these people. I don't think Tom did this. I think those people picked him.
Yeah, well, for sure. No. Yeah. Tom's a true believer, man, for sure, without a doubt. But
I don't think they picked him to make some money off the back of it. I think they. You right? Okay, I'm gonna grift a UFO channel.
Yeah.
Say for example, Ice Cream, I pick yours.
Sure.
And I come with these wild statements and show you certain proofs, and then I tell you some stuff behind the scenes to why I'm doing this. Just don't repeat this to anybody else. I like what you're doing. I like blah blah blah. You know, I make you feel good.
You make me feel good.
Yeah, thank you. I've been paid to do that. That's my job because I've got to interfere with the community. Now, along the way, my boss is like, yeah, whatever else you want to do, within reason. If you need to make some extra money, do what you want. You know, I'm freelance.
Sure.
If I want to write a book, if I want to make some make myself a little comfortable by going on a few podcasts, staying in a few hotel rooms, going for swanky dinners, meeting people, getting out there. Maybe someone will make a documentary about me. That's some on the side shit that I've done, and that's for me. You know, that's my retirement. But that wasn't the original job. I'm interested in the original job and where that's coming from. Who is that coming from?
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
So you're saying the beginning of the intro where he did that big conference, you're saying now it's more or less like a setup?
I think Lou was picked all along. I think it was always supposed to be Lou.
Lou came out 2017, isn't it? If I remember rightly, it was 2017. He came out.
I think it was, yeah.
I think it was, yeah. And that was the same time.
It was 2016 when we started to see the drops of the TikTok stuff with the gimbal go fast. Am I right by that, Ice Cream?
I mean, 2017 is when that stuff really got released through New York Times, but yeah, December.
2016. Well, actually, the TikTok footage came out. I think that came out like back in 2000.
Oh yeah, there was one of the three videos that was old. Yeah, one of them was older. Yeah, for sure.
It was the TikTok one was really old. The one that it's looking at it and then all of a sudden
it's looking at it just goes off. Yeah, it goes off the side.
Yeah,
that's an older one for sure.
So I'm just trying to think the time when Lou came out, and then TTSA started as well. Either Lou was picked because he seemed quite a big official. He really put himself on a pedestal to say, I am the disclosure guy. And Tom DeLonge thinking, right, okay, this guy's pretty good for our business, because it is a business at the end of the day, TTSA. But how much money did they get? And what did they have? What actually happens to that money? Because they're hearing different things from
little over 3 million.
Yeah. Because they promised us a flying spaceship, so I'm still looking forward to that. Coming from
You'll get that spaceship. I think I might have that spaceship.
Yeah, Manny did a really good breakdown on our channel of kind of where all that money went, and there you go. Yeah, there it is right there. Of what's just kind of really happened with all this.
Hang on, Ollie, bring that craft up again. I've seen that somewhere before. Hold on a minute.
Did the Nazis strike again?
Oh my God, please tell me you've got that in one of your books.
Hang on. Let's have a little look. Keep talking, guys, because I can't read.
No, Nick.
I know it looks like that's cool.
I don't know, Ali, there's so many reasons.
It's like a penis.
Yeah, there's so many reasons that Lou could have been picked and what he did. I mean, counterintelligence, from what I understand, is like learning about what your subject knows about you and kind of figuring everything out. I mean, one of my early thoughts with the entire process was that this was all just to build up as much noise and attention to the topic as humanly possible, and then disappoint everybody on purpose and just bury this forever for the last time. I mean, I just don't think the Pentagon wants to tell anybody what's going on. DOE, I don't think they want us to know. So, when you look at something like Arrow, the nice thing about Arrow, if you were in the Pentagon, you want to cover this thing up, is that the difference between Arrow and Project Blue Book is that Arrow just can always exist. It's always a website. It's always there. They can always just walk away. They don't have to have a bunch of people constantly working on it, to where when Project Blue Book closed, everyone went back to looking at UFOs again and all of the research they were doing, and the government kind of never really answered for much of it. Now they can go back and say, oh, well, here's a new abduction or here's something new. And they go, okay, well, we'll have Arrow look at it. Did Arrow say anything? And that's always there. It's just this fallback measure. But yeah, I mean, it could be that, or it could be what I really think is that Lou and them are all part of a process of trying to hammer this stuff out of the government, dude. They're trying to see what's going to fall out. You ever see that game? It's like an arcade game where you take like a quarter or a token and you drop it in the top, and there's this machine ledge that moves, and it's got all these coins all stacked on it.
We've got them all at the seaside.
So you drop one in.
You put the pennies in, and
correct.
You try and win about another 10 pennies.
Right. So you drop one in and you hope the whole stack falls over. I mean, that's that's kind of a good representation of what I think a lot of this OSAP, ATIP, Elizondo, Bigelow, Fugel, wrap all these guys up because they're all in cahoots, in my opinion. They all know each other. They're in the same kind of boat. That's what I kind of think that they're doing is they're dropping a coin. See, does it fall over? Nah, shit, man. Here comes David Crush coin. Drop that Grush coin in there. Did that knock it all down? Did we get anything out of that? I don't know. That's what I really think is going on.
Do you think the Grush coin is finished with?
I think it's close. I think it all, like, everyone's still overlooking these emails, man. These emails are going to put a big smash on a lot of what's going on, and they're very, very important. So, I know people talking about congressional hearings and the skiff didn't go with Grush. Dude, them emails are going to end it. The argument between Kirkpatrick and Grush, and yeah, it's a big deal. I hope Greenwald can get to him. I'll tell you this though, dude, if we don't get any emails and it sets back and they go, well, we can't see his, I'm willing to throw them both out at that point, man, because I'm looking for hard information at this point to keep me around,
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see those emails ever getting released. One, I don't think a company like Arrow would go to that level to go, okay, no, we did ask for him. Here's the email to prove it. I just can't see. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem professional to get to kind of like have to prove yourself. Do you know, when you're a company like what Arrow's supposed to be?
Yeah. Well, it could just be an oversight from Kirkpatrick too, or an oversight from Grush. I mean, these guys, I still think they get surprised how much people dig, which is crazy, especially after stuff like Who's Lou. Like, you should see, man, there's people out there, they're going to dig at you, dude. Like you got to watch what you're saying when you're making stuff up. There's somebody who's motivated.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, there are people out there that will sit and they will do the research on anybody that tickles their nipples in the slightest bit.
Well, yeah, Elizondo said that everyone in ufology is just a bunch of gamers that live in their mom's basement. I mean, that's what the guy, if he thinks that, then does he think something like that's going to come out? Does Kirkpatrick believe that people would ask for the FOIAs for the emails? Do they think that's possible? Are they underrating everyone in ufology? I think that's likely. And Elizondo was right. I'm a gamer. I'm not in my mom's basement, but I'm a gamer. He got me there.
Yeah, I like a little bit of gaming now and again.
For sure.
He's just not hip. He's not in the crowd.
Have you found that craft, Nick?
Yeah. 2 seconds. I'm just trying to find the name of it. I don't know. It is somewhere.
I just think, Ali, like, there's no excuses once we figure out who's lied about the emails. There's no excuses anymore. Like, you'll know, especially like if it comes back that Kirkpatrick is lying, you're going to know right away with how people respond to that, where people's interests truly lie in this topic.
What do you think? If you had to put your money on it, do you think Kirkpatrick's lying?
I think it's more likely that he's lying than Grush, for sure. Yeah. I think so.
Kirkpatrick is lying about emailing David Grush?
I would guess, yeah. If I had to put money on it. I mean, obviously I don't know, but if I had to put money, dude, I can't trust the Pentagon, bro. I can't. Like, there's people out there right now that are sitting around saying, the terrorist attacks that happened in that day, September. I don't want to say it, the actual thing, because of the channel. But there's people that will tell you that, you got to believe the Pentagon on that, or you don't believe the Pentagon on that it's all a cover up. But then you look at the Pentagon over here about UFOs and go, oh, now believe them. They're telling the truth here, but they're not telling the truth there. It's like, you can't have it both ways, man. You either don't trust that side of the government or you do.
That's like the debunkers, and God love them. I mean, there's some of the debunking channels. I'm good friends with them.
Yeah, no, me too.
As far as community friends, obviously we don't go around the campfire and drink a beer and toast a marshmallow, whatever you guys do over there. But I do think some of the debunkers, when they come back with a debunk and say, because this is what NASA said, or this is what Arrow said, I'm like, really, guys? You gonna since God, we've said this till we're blue in the face on this channel. Are you really going to trust the people that the UFO community for so long has like been almost enemies against?
The reason why they're in the field to begin with. Like, it's like a lot of people out there are just forgetting why the hell they're here. And it's like, I understand, man. Well, I mean, it's
done
kind
a
of
fucking U-turn.
I mean, it's kind of odd, but at the same time, it's not. I mean, this is what happens when you get a lot of frustration, when people want the evidence, they keep getting let down over and over and over again. You're going to turn people around, even at something that they love. You know, they'll turn the quote unquote gun on, not realistic gun, but like, you know, they turn the focus on hating on it or knocking it down. Which that's not any better than someone who just says everything's real. It's not. You're just on the other end of the spectrum, dude. We need people in the middle to look back and say, you know, Grush potentially gets a job with Battelle after he leaves Arrow. Wait a second, that's super weird. We have to pump the brakes and figure out what's going on with something like that, if it's real or not. We can't just blow over stuff like that. I want the truth. Like I said, if it comes out that Grush is lying, get rid of him. I don't care. I'll give Kirkpatrick his props. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard because I hear a lot of people also say, you know, Kirkpatrick's done his job. He did everything he did. Well, if he doesn't have access to DOE, like Department of Energy programs, how does he know he did his job? Like, and if he did the best he could, I'm willing to give him the props if he did the best he could. But if he wasn't able to get to it, you can't just prop the guy for saying there's nothing there when there possibly still is. You know, we have to have the hard facts before I'm going to give the thumbs up to anybody, man. I'm not going to jump on board with Kirkpatrick. Why? What's the advantage to me getting the truth to jump on board with that? See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just quickly. Go on. I think what
I was going to say. Do you think Kirkpatrick's been restricted on what evidence he can actually get to? Because that's what I personally think. I think he's not actually allowed to see everything. He said he's done his job. He had the actual
stated, Nick, that he has access to everything. Everything. There's nothing he doesn't have access to. Nothing.
Yeah, he knows what Biden's underwear smells like, dude. He's got access to everything, you know. I don't know.
Can I just grab a clip up from? I played this clip before, Ollie. It's by what's his bloody name? Dr. Alan Heinrich.
Yeah, man.
Ice Cream, you know about Dr. Alan Heinrich. He did looked into the Project Grudge, Project Sign, and Project Blue Book. He was a skeptic first of all, but eventually changed his mind. And I got this interview here from 1974. And it kind of resembles what it's like today. And his analysis, basically, what he's saying at the end of this interview here, well, it's this little segment, he's stating that the fact is the people in charge are not taking it seriously. And then the evidence, I mean, by far, yeah, okay, it was a ball of light, what we're about to see. But it's almost felt like there was a restriction of what he can say. And he felt like the people in charge, the government, were not being honest. So do you mind if I bring this clip up, Ollie?
Bring it up, mate. Let's get it up.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Hynek changed his mind at the end, man, which was really interesting too.
He did.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Yeah, he did. He just changed his mind after a while.
Have you boys seen Project Bluebeam, the TV series?
No.
No, Blue Book. Sorry, Blue Book. Was it Blue Book?
With the recent one? Like the recent thing?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember that. Yeah, it was pretty good, to be fair. There was some episodes were pretty good. There was a lot of artistic license in that series.
There is so much of this new stuff, Ollie. There is with all of it. So it's like hard to track all of it, you know?
Yeah. Can you guys see the clip up in the moment? Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Cool. Right. So let's click play.
And there's nothing holding you back.
Shut up.
Hell yeah. Get an ad block, Nick. Jeez.
Hey, it's Richard.
Oh, God damn it. Right. Okay. 2 seconds. Where's an ad blocker? Can you actually get on there? Can you? There you go.
If you have Chrome, you can get one. I pay for YouTube Premium. I'm a scumbag, I guess, because I do. I can't do the ads, man.
Panel of top scientists to examine the UFO phenomenon.
The CIA's concern was that recent waves of sightings might constitute a threat to our national security. The thinking was that the enemy could exploit UFOs as a decoy in the preparation for an attack on the United States.
Right.
5 outstanding scientists and various Air Force and CIA representatives were to meet on Wednesday, January 14th, 1953.
Well, that's why they
Among
that's
the
why they
panel
made
members
Grudge.
was one associate member who is destined to have more experience with the UFO phenomena than any other American scientist to date. Dr. J. Allen Hynek, astrophysicist and head of the astronomy department of Northwestern University.
I was called into the meeting on Thursday. The panel members were seated around this table. It was a rather somber and impressive occasion, actually. I was a junior member, and I remember feeling considerably nervous and apprehensive about being in front of this powerhouse of scientists. But then for the past 4 years, I had been scientific advisor to the U.S. Air Force on this very problem. There were 2 films that were of particular interest to the panel at that time. One was a film taken by a Navy officer while on vacation in Utah, near Tremonton, Utah. And the other was a film taken in Great Falls, Montana, by the owner of the local baseball team. The Utah film had already been subjected to some 1,000 or so man-hours of analysis by the Navy's Photographic Interpretation Laboratory.
Yes, I've
So the
seen
panel got up from their chairs and crouched around the wall to examine the films, and they asked to have the films run several times, as a matter of fact. Now, the Navy had, on the basis of their detailed analysis of the Utah films, they had concluded that the objects shown on the films could not be birds, balloons, aircraft, and so forth, but indeed that they were self-luminous, unidentified objects. Despite this conclusion, the panel rejected it and concluded that the objects were birds. They couldn't be unidentified, therefore they had to be birds. I came away from the meeting and from the room with the distinct feeling, however, that the panel had deliberately moved to debunk the whole subject and not to give it the serious scientific attention which it deserved.
There we go.
That's interesting
Sounds
because
familiar?
that's it sounds very familiar. Yeah, that's what we do.
Time will tell. I mean, if Kirkpatrick comes out later on, I guess we'll just have to see. It's always wait till next year, Ollie, you know?
I mean,
turn around.
What he
Yeah.
did with his career
Yeah.
after that was just mind-blowing. I mean, his chicken's fantastic.
The KFC, huh? Yeah, Colonel Sanders, he's got the secret recipe.
He looks so much like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah,
It did, didn't he? It did. I'm hungry now. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that. I mean, and when you look at like he said, you know, potential foreign people, foreign nations exploiting. Same thing with Arrow. I mean, that's the whole narrative right now. Why Arrow was created. We got a same idea with Ryan Graves, Americans for Safe Aerospace. Same idea. You know, we got to make sure this aerospace is safe and everything. So I agree with you. Back to what you said at the beginning, Ollie. That yeah, I mean, there is a lot of attention, but there are a lot of remaining themes for sure.
Well, that's the way I would do it if I was being paid to do it. If I had a certain mission that I had to achieve, and I could basically freelance on the way, that's what I'd do. I'd make a little bit of money on the side.
Sure.
Why not? Does
Yeah,
it
it's
mean
possible.
does it mean these people are bad people? Because we don't know the reason why they're doing it. We don't know the reason behind it. But again, going back to exactly what Nick's just shown there, and towards the end of that video, that's what we seem to want to do, is destroy it seems like we want to destroy the subject more than anything now. Even the community, even channels that have been very positive when it comes to the whole I mean, for quite some time I did this. I think I went on about a 2-year rant for trying to just debunk as much as I could and destroy everything. That the destroy my interest in it, and I then kind of I started to not enjoy talking about it anymore because I just thought it's all a load of shit because all I was looking at was the shit.
What was the moment that happened though? Like, what do you remember the video or the story or what did you hear that you just went, enough. I'm kind of feeling like I'm done with this. I might as well take it out. I mean, that's a big theme right now. It is, dude. It is.
There was, I can remember. I mean, it's no secret. I was a massive Secure Team 10 fan. Hence why I know Tyler.
Dude, who didn't watch those videos back then? Yeah.
But I actually did a debunk on a piece of his work. And I was right. He thought he'd been sent a UFO crashed in the ice. And when you went to Google Earth and you turned the map, it was, and you could alter the time as well. You could see that it was a lake that had formed of ice.
Oh
But
yeah,
the way the angle, and I was the first person to do that. I think recently somebody rehashed the debunk, and a few channels have rehashed the UFO in question. But the community, the UFO community, turned on me so hard on that video. That video got up to, I think, 50,000 views. Overnight, I had 1,000 subscribers. In a few days, I had something like over 1,000 thumbs up, and I think 1,500 thumbs down when thumbs down were a thing.
Yeah.
And there was people threatening me, all sorts of stuff because I was shitting all over their UFO subject.
Were you angry right away, or was it more?
No,
like,
I found it.
sad right away?
I found it. I found it fun for a certain amount of time. For some time, I was like, I need to do more of this. It's addictive. It's addictive being right. So I did quite a few debunks. A few of them were third phase of moon ones, and then I don't know what the turning point was. I think it was maybe I think it was probably a night when we stayed up after the show, speaking with Lee and Dave, speaking with Dave for hours. It's like, do you remember why you got into this subject? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do. My dad got me into this subject.
Yeah.
And then he just got me a thinking, do I really want to go and destroy, even though I know there's a lot to destroy, there's a lot of fake stuff out there. But do I really want to tread all over it? Do I really want to destroy the subject? The reason why I even made this channel in the first place is because I believe in the subject. There's something, I do believe that, like that, I'll say there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but
agreed, yeah.
And this is not me saying that there's not space for debunkers, because there definitely is.
We have to have them too. Yeah, we do.
It's just that's not what I want to do. I want to see where this leads us. And I think the only way to do that is to kind of speak with each other. Did you find that spaceship, Nick?
Yeah, I've got a few photographs actually. 2 seconds. I'm
Of
just
the-
sorry
of
for being
the one,
silent. I've been sort of the Tom DeLonge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring them up. 2 seconds. Let's have a look.
Because that's interesting, because I had never seen this before.
It kind of looks like it.
I think I know
Kind
the
of.
picture you're
Let's,
gonna pull up too. Yeah. It's a good one.
I think I might have shown it.
Yeah, it's interesting how
on
close it
LinkedIn
is.
interview.
Yeah.
So you see that?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it's very close.
So this was like part of the Avro car, basically.
Yeah.
Part of the Avro car series. Yeah. So look, so is it like
Oh, look
so
at
it
that
looks very
bomb there
similar.
with the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Well, hey, I mean, they put up
Tom
the Mylar
DeLonge.
balloon video, so I mean, why not steal this too? You know,
Yeah.
that looks like the
So
same
it looks
damn
very
thing.
similar.
That's crazy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. And that's bloody that's the 1970s. So Tom DeLonge, eat your heart out, mate. Oh, I was going to show you this. This is what you would get in a British newspaper when it comes to UFOs. I mean, you couldn't take the piss more. All you need is the bloody X-Files soundtrack to come with this. I mean, look at you got E.T. with a bloody Pope's head, bloody hat on there. This is what you get. We are not taking ufology seriously in this country. We're not. And I don't think the conversation's going in the right way because we get stupid bloody articles. I mean, bear in mind, Daily Star they used to have booby pictures on there and they've taken it off now, but it's not a credible newspaper. But still, this is what you get. They're not taking it seriously. And I don't think the conversation's going in the right direction. My opinion. You know, we've got all these skiffs. No one's telling the truth. This guy's saying he's lying. Grosh say he's lying. I find it so frustrating now. And I try not to get bogged down by it. But bear in mind, I'm actually on Twitter. It's like even the worst place to be at the moment. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God.
I think you need to be on Twitter, to be honest with you. I think
I do, yeah. You do. Yeah.
There's so much stuff that's, I mean, you could ignore most of the stuff that's going on Twitter. You just can't. I do. I don't engage in arguments with people. I can't be bothered. I've got better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's where you'll find the information on Twitter. You can watch those arguments and you can kind of make a judgment for yourself. And then, well, actually, this is interesting. This guy's got a point. Or this guy's definitely like shit all over this, and he's right to shit all over it. But you know, I find UFO Twitter interesting, even though I don't engage. I'm definitely looking at everything that's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, you get a gauge of what people are thinking, where ufology's at.
Speaking about Twitter, X, should I say? Did any of you guys watch the latest Lex Friedman, Elon Musk interview?
No, I didn't.
I seen a clip of him talking about Diablo for a minute today. That was it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
You saw the clip of him talking about
the game Diablo 4. I think I seen a
little. Oh
yeah. Clip, but because he plays Diablo, which was very funny. I don't know where that guy finds time to play Diablo 4, but sure, you know what I mean. That's kind of a flex, right? I put spaceships up into the sky, and I got time for Diablo 4. That's kind of crazy.
Let me see if I can find you this little clip. This is interesting. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're right. I mean, UFO Twitter is a wild place, dude. Yeah, I mean, I follow what's going on. I see just kind of understand where everybody is. For me, it just feels like it's getting toxic amongst everybody again because we're getting nowhere. It's like every time the news goes away, it gets really bad. People start to argue again about it with everybody and everything, and then it's back to who's harassing who, and it's like. Sometimes I'll listen to those spaces, man. I just laugh. I'm like, holy God, these guys are going at each other with this stuff. And I'm like, I'm so happy I'm not involved, dude, because it's fun to listen to sometimes. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very divided. I mean, that's what we are like as a species now, aren't we? We're so divided as a civilization, you know, when it even comes to anything social media related, it's going to be twice as worse, even 3 times worse, because it really shows people ugly side, you know. I mean, vast majority of these people are just keyboard warriors. You know, you wouldn't see them face to face, you know, you wouldn't get the same reaction out of them, you know.
I mean, you go ahead.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I mean, that's why I try to that's why I still look at stuff like on Twitter, though, is I try to stay 60, 70, 80,000 feet above looking down at this whole picture of this topic. I just really try to get away from any kind of a narrowed view of it because I can't get the truth that way, and I'm just going to get a crappy view of it. And And when you really look from as high up as you possibly can try to, you realize it's just this petri dish of like 50 different opinions, 50,000 different opinions, and it's all over the place. And it's ufology's never been as hectic as it is right now, in my opinion. It's all over the place, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen next year. Hopefully some clarification or some clarity, for Christ's sake, and some honesty as well would be nice, from these governmental officials.
Yeah.
Is that up on screen, boys?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to this.
The first time we talked, you said which is surreal to think that this discussion was happening is becoming a reality. I asked you what question would you ask an AGI system once you create it, and you said, "What's outside the simulation?" is the question. And good question.
Yeah,
but it seems like with Grok, you started literally. This system's goal is to be able to ask such questions, to answer such questions, and to ask such questions.
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
That's one of the Fermi paradox question. A lot of people have asked me if I've seen any evidence of aliens, and I haven't, which is kind of concerning, because then I think I'd probably prefer to at least have seen some archaeological evidence of aliens. To the best of my knowledge, there is no proof. I'm not aware of any evidence of aliens. If they're out there, they're very subtle. We might just be the only consciousness, at least in the galaxy. And if you look at, say, the history of Earth, if one is to believe the archaeological record, Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Civilization, as measured from the first writing, is only about 5,000 years old. We have to give some credit there to the ancient Sumerians, who aren't around anymore. I think it was the archaic pre-cuneiform was the first actual symbolic representation, but only about 5,000 years ago. I think that's a good date for when we're, say, civilization started. That's 1/1,000,000th of Earth's existence. So civilization has been around. It's really a flash in the pan so far. And why did it take so long? For 4.5 billion years. For the vast majority of the time, there was no life, and then there was archaic bacteria for a very long time, and then you had mitochondria get captured, multicellular life, differentiation into plants and animals, life moving from the oceans to land, mammals, higher brain functions. And the sun is expanding slowly, but it will overheat. It will heat the Earth up at some point in the future, boil the oceans, and Earth will become like Venus, where no life as we know it is impossible. So if we do not become multiplanetary and ultimately go beyond our solar system, annihilation of all life on Earth is a certainty. A certainty.
We're fucked then. That's it. Pack your bags, boys and girls. We're going. That's it. We're
But I found it interesting when he said, I see no evidence of aliens. I mean, if anybody's going to see, unless he's lying, if anybody's going to see something like that, I would say it was somebody high up in NASA or that guy. To know if that's where it's coming from, space, whatever this phenomena is. But I found it interesting when he said he finds it concerning that there's no evidence of aliens. What did he mean by that?
I guess wondering if life anywhere else has been able to get away from an exploding sun, an overheating sun, whether there's ever been life that's lived long enough to do it. I don't know, man. I still go back to, how do we know we're the first ones here, bro? I just don't. I think the odds that we're the first ones, and he makes a good point too, like the flash in the pan, how long we would be here. That's even more of a thought process that I agree with, that shows we're probably not. I still don't think we're that special. We're special, but we're not first on the scene, best on the scene. I just don't see it that way.
I mean, you could go down the route, the Graham Hancock route of, Atlantis and how civilization was way advanced. I mean, if you look like something like the pyramids, I mean, I don't believe aliens built it. I believe man made it. But they say it's 10,000, 8,000 years old, something like that, the pyramids. I think it's a lot longer. I think you're probably looking at a couple of 100,000 years old, I reckon. Almost goes back to the times of the Antons. And I think civilizations were a lot brighter back then. I think we had a lot more intelligence, more consciousness, I think, personally, to build these things. I mean, look at the pyramids. I mean, it's structurally impossible to build these days. It's so complex. You would have had like a very high mind civilization to build something like that when you look at it. Because you look at the construction of the pyramids, there's no way we can build something like that, even to this day. So, just say it was 8,000 years ago they built these things. It's still very clever for people to do it. We've just been dumbed down with bloody technology, gadgets, and gizmos today. So I think people are a lot more dumber. But I don't know. Who knows? 8,000 years ago, what people were like.
It's almost like if they could answer that, like if they could just answer the question about the pyramids, how far we'd be, man. And how much more we'd understand about humanity. It's incredible.
I don't think we're allowed to know what I think whatever the pyramids were, I think the information was probably there. And I think call it higher up elites or whatever got rid of that evidence, because there are pyramids all over Earth. And nobody knows what they're for. People say the ones in Peru are, they did the sacrifices on there. Some of they had things to read the stars and all that. A lot of those things are broken. The evidence has been scrubbed off and smashed to pieces. I don't
or the writing. The writing looks way more primitive than what would the technology it would use to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird how it clashes like that. Yeah.
But the thing is, the archaeologists don't want to go.
No, yeah, go on, Nick.
I was going to say the archaeologists don't want to look into it because it would change the course of history. My opinion, I've got a book about pyramids and stuff like that. Basically, in my opinion, the pyramid is a giant crystal.
Me, Nick.
Is a giant crystal. It basically is a big energy weapon. That's what it is. It is some sort of harness the ether of the earth. It's almost like Tesla, like a big Tesla coil. That's what the pyramids is. It's such a complex machine because that's what it is. The pyramids, in my opinion, is a machine. It's the oldest machine in mankind. That's my opinion. We could go into a deep dive into it if you want to, Ollie, about what the pyramids were used for. They built it for the
I'd
pharaohs.
love to do a show on the pyramid. Get your mate Hancock on.
Yeah, invite me to that one, dude. I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah.
It's a good Friday show, Molly. What do you think?
But yeah, you could go down a deep rabbit hole. But my personal opinion is just a big machine, like a big energy weapon, like a massive Tesla coil. It gets deep, man. It gets deep. It is a very interesting subject. But it was built there for a purpose. And who knows?
I mean, it might have been your mate Graham that said that one of the pyramids, apparently, there's evidence that one of them goes way under the ground than what we've actually seen.
There's a water system that goes down. If it is, just impossible to build these days. It's so complex. It's actually quite genius. Whoever bloody built this, who had the mathematical mind to actually construct this bloody thing, because it was actually coated. It was actually smooth, believe it or not. That's what you call a step pyramid. Basically, it goes up in stages. But originally, it was a whole smooth surface. And the oldest part of the pyramid,
it had like a
I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it did have a crust
It
around
had
it.
like a plating on it or whatever.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. But the
That
oldest part,
we're just seeing the foundations.
exactly. That's it. It's just the foundations
Oh
of
wow.
it. But
Okay.
but the oldest part of the pyramid is the top. Explain that. The oldest part of the pyramid is the top part. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It's but you think how many other places like go Depli, go Tepli,
Go
something
back
like that.
Go Beckley Tepe,
That,
yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was buried. You think how many places? That's just one part. There's others. There's several around that area that still needs to be uncovered. But you look at the Amazon rainforest. Graham Hancock was saying on Joe Rogan podcast that you've got these infrared sensors that fly over with these drones, and you can actually see there's building structures where the trees are because it's been there for thousands of years.
It's crazy,
with tree
man.
cover.
Yeah.
We don't know our civilization. We have no bloody idea. We think we know, so we say, "Oh, it's God, it's Jesus," and all that. I'm like, hold on a minute. Like what Elon Musk just said, it goes back millions of years, millions. We just know just a tiny fragment. We've got a massive, billions of years to look at, and we haven't even scratched the surface. You know what I mean?
This is an interesting question then. What do you guys think? Everyone always says, it'd be such a shock for us to learn that there's other aliens and everything out there like that. Do you think the world would go crazy if we really learned that it was actually a simulation for real though?
Simulation.
Like if we were really
like GTA?
Yeah, if we were really like some universe's video or some being's video game, we were literally inside somebody's computer, they're playing us. Do you think people would go just as crazy, or would they just go, whatever?
Oh man, bloody hell, that's a good question.
I've never heard anybody ask that.
People would look for the glitches.
That's freaking interesting. Okay, where do you think the glitches would lie? Where do you think they are?
So I used to
Could the pyramids be a glitch? Could it be part of a map that they were building that they left the pieces there and moved on? I don't know.
I
used
used
to
to
spitball,
I used to have this kind of very selfish feeling when I was younger that I would say I was in a room with a few people I don't know behind me, say a restaurant, for example. And I'm there, I'm eating on my own, checking my phone, which happens quite a lot these days. With work, I'm away from home. I'll be eating on my own. There's people behind me. This sounds so self-centered, but it's just a thought process. What if when I'm looking at this part of everything that's going on, what if I'm looking at you guys now and there's people behind me? They're not actually there because, like in a computer game, when you're looking at something in front of you, the computer's not processing.
They're not rendered in. Yeah, not rendered in.
It's just going to process what's in front of you and what you can see.
Right.
Because it's a waste of fucking power.
Yeah, resources.
To have that going on in the background. I used to sometimes think, and if I had observed people, like just random people's conversations, I'd think, really? That conversation you're having right there that I've just listened to, you're not real. You cannot be real. Because that's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, put it this way. It's not a secret. I used to take loads of mushrooms, like big doses. And there was one point where I can actually see through my missus. My missus was in front of me and I can actually see through her.
Well, you explain all this on the Rockfin show. That is linked in the description, people. If you want to see Nick on mushrooms. Oh, not on mushrooms, but
No, it was on mushrooms. Fuck's sake, Ollie. No, that's for another episode. But anyway, we get to that later. That was the chemtrail episode. Oh, I mentioned the bloody word. Sorry, man. This can have a fact check.
You said con. You said con.
Oh yeah, contrail. Okay, that's right then. Okay, sparkle. Yeah, that's the episode where we talked about the mushroom trip and all that. It was quite a deep episode, but yeah, this simulation. This ain't real, guys. Okay, if you had a big trip, a big mushroom trip, believe me, take at least 7 grams all in one go, boom, and just watch your fucking reality just drip in front of you. It will just melt, and then you will see what reality is like, because you can see through shit. None of this is real. Dave said that on the podcast last week. None of this is real. So this simulation thing, I haven't really looked to it because it was a bit too like woohoo for me. I didn't quite understand it, but what you're saying, Ice Cream, is that one part of the simulation that is almost like a computer game or like a TV show. If you're going from that South Park episode, and if you've seen that South Park episode where where it's like it's basically like we're like a game show, you know, and being observed by aliens.
Feels
and,
that way
you know,
sometimes, yeah.
Kind of like keep the wars going, guys. You know,
Yeah.
keep the fighting, keep it going. So I don't know. Is that what the simulation theory is about?
I mean, there's probably parts of that. Have you guys ever had this to where you haven't thought about somebody you've known before, like for years and years, and then you randomly think about that person and you see him like 2 fucking days later?
Yeah.
Sorry to swear, but like, you ever had that?
I can't believe you just said sorry for swearing on Alien Addicts. I mean,
Yeah,
how?
I'm pretty
But
sure
you know,
swore before,
dude. I've had that happen so many times where I'm like, I would never see this person again, and then you think about him, and then you see him the next day. I've noticed like so many things. Like maybe I'm crazy, bro. I feel like there's so many things like that happen, or that you like you think
Deja
about certain
vus as
things and it
well.
pops up. Yeah, deja vu. I've had a lot of that lately too. Where it's just like, that's happening. Is that the glitch in the simulation that we're looking for? Some people think it is. I think the Matrix talked about that, right? In the first Matrix movie, they said that the deja vu was a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah.
Deja vu was something to do with it glitching.
Which, God, I mean, when you look at iRobot and you look at the Matrix, like these are all like super common themes that those movies were created around. That's what we're talking about a lot of today. How wild is that, dude?
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
You
What's
know,
that? 1999, isn't it?
But if
Yeah.
that's true, I mean, that's how wild that is. If it's true that it's a simulation, then all of history that we know about is just a story. It's just legend. It's just myths. All of it. Everything. Absolutely everything. If we're living in the now, in a simulation, if the simulation started when if your version of the simulation started when you was born, coded or whatever, you know,
yeah.
then everything in the past is not real.
Well, look, man, there's something going on. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at how our bodies work. You know, we need kidneys. We have kidneys. We have a stomach because we need to eat. All of these things. We need to clean our blood. Like everything works together so perfect. And then, we need air, and we're here and we have air, and like everything is so intricate, the way the brain works and how it functions with the whole body. All of this is just a luck of the draw. I don't know. I'm not sold on that, man. Like there's too many intricate processes. I'm not saying, you got to think that there's God or what have you, dude. Something's going on. I mean,
why?
Well, I mean,
so you'd rather say it's simulation?
No. I'm saying that I don't care like what people think that it is. Like you can make it whatever you want it to be.
Would you say simulation is more logical than God?
No, I'm still not. I still think that there's some kind of a higher being, some kind of a higher force, because it's very complex. And I think we'd see more bugs if it was more simulation, unless they've been working on it a long time. They've devved it a long time. But
also, if we are a simulation, whoever created the simulation, how do they know that they are not a simulation, making a simulation?
You're trying to break my brain already, man.
So who created God then? So if God created everything, then who created God?
I don't know. That's always it's always what it leads back to, right? It's always leads back to who created God. Or if there's a big bang, okay, what caused the big bang? And then it leads back to, well, if there's aliens and we've got anti-gravity technology, where did that come from? It always leads back to a mystery. Every single thing does that's like that. We never find the damn origin of anything.
That will be a turning point for mankind if we make a simulation that is completely as accurate as Earth, with just new people, completely new people, new scenarios going on, new wars going on, new trends going on, everything. If we make that shit, we'll have a weird realization that, holy fuck, those guys there are exactly the same as us. So what's to say that we're not them? and it's just a massive, endless simulation, and at the end of that is reality.
Do you think that's where ufology goes over time? Like once a lot of this stuff kind of, in my opinion, falls through next year? I mean,
I think
Elizondo's going to put his book out there and that'll probably carry the whole year, people talking about this stuff. But if we don't get any evidence, we don't go anywhere. Do you think it turns to like a simulation kind of a thing?
I hope not.
For like the new answer, you know, because I mean, if the government's not going to tell us, we got to figure it out again somewhere. You know, that's what people are going to say.
Yeah,
They're not going to stop
think
looking.
I think I think no Lee. I think Nate Lee just. I nearly called him Nee. Then I say Nick and Lee.
Yeah.
I think Lee once mentioned that about UFOs. What if they're kind of like, so you know, like in the Matrix, they've got the things that come in and correct things and try and change the order of things.
Sure.
What if they're there doing? Yeah. What if? Well, they're not even they won't even be machines. They'll just be code. They're like fucking Pac-Man coming in and
yeah.
I don't know if I buy the simulation theory.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
do
don't.
either, but,
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to. You know, I wouldn't want to think that me making friendships with you guys is just me, somebody else's entertainment.
I don't know. I still value my own interactions, though. I mean, even if that was the case, I used to think about it like in simulation, God, whatever way you want to look at it. I mean, you're still a created pawn in a game. So, I mean, it's just because it's AI created doesn't mean that those relationships aren't still there. Doesn't take that away. I don't know.
I mean, we have gone somewhere with the show, so I'm going to say this: if it is, if the entire world, that would be more dangerous than disclosure.
To let everybody know that it's all created simulation.
I think that was your question, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah, do people would people freak out more if it was simulation versus aliens? Yeah,
I think people would lose control. Absolutely,
Yeah.
because what's the point? If it's a simulation, what's the point in being what's the point in it being a law-abiding citizen?
Yeah.
If it's a simulation.
We would have to make it our own. We'd have to just accept it as a simulation and that, you know, but we still want to have communities. You know, because I mean, even if it's a simulation, you know, if your arm gets cut off, man, you're still in the same kind of pain, whether it's a simulation or not. You're still feeling that
You
problem.
are, but
if you're starving, you're still starving. You know,
there would be companies set up that would be trying to cheat the system.
So kind of like Ready Player One. You know, you'd have a company that's coming in trying to take it over and manipulate
get people trying to make it glitch. You get people trying to find out what's on. So
who's saying that they're not doing that now?
I said this once about when we did a show. It may have been the conversation that I had with. We were talking about Security in 10 before and how he's doing, but I think it might have been with Tyler, this conversation I had about, and it went into simulation theory. And I said, with everybody not believing that we went to the moon, I say everybody, a lot of conspiracy theorists believed that we never went to the moon.
Sure. And
some people pointed at the interviews with all the you know, Neil, Buzz, and Michael Collins, saying watch the them sat there being interviewed by the press. They look depressed.
It's like they got a gun to their head, isn't it?
Yeah, they do look funny, and I had a theory about that. If it is a simulation, what if when they got to the moon, they saw the end? They basically saw the mesh of what all this is, and that's the realization of space. When they go into space, they actually know. Like, for example, the ISS up there, everything they're doing in space, what they're trying to do in space. What if they do know what it is? and it is a simulation, and they're trying to work out if there's anything other than space, because this is the code is Earth.
To expand on that though, Ali, what if it's not mesh? One thing that video games do is that as you start to run towards places, they don't load everything in right away, and there's a lot of really big assets that are left out. And since we don't go to the moon a lot, we don't go out in deep space a lot. What if they got there and the system was slowly rendering that in? Maybe they seen it pop in. They seen the pop in. That's, I mean, if you wanted to, go down that road, sure. I mean, I would assume that that's probably because it doesn't use those resources. It doesn't show those stars or those universes or planets or whatever they were able to see. If they're just never loaded, you know what I mean? The simulation doesn't preload them because New York has already got all these buildings that are loaded in. They're saving the resources. If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know.
So there might be a random room like in Skyrim where you can get access to fucking everything.
I mean, maybe that's what's in Antarctica.
If we
I
did
don't
go with
know,
that
man.
if we did go with that case, man, with your simulation theory, they must have faked all the space photographs then, all the Milky Ways, all the galaxies, and all that. Because they're saying that's
not necessarily.
Because NASA's saying, look how big the space is. So where would this mesh be? It's an amazing theory. It really is. It's all new to me, man. I haven't really looked into it.
I would guess though, if it was a simulation, it would be procedural generation though. I don't think it would be
like No Man's
projection,
Sky,
like a wall. Yeah, it would be more of a No Man's Sky, like 4 or 5 billion years in the future, where it's just as they continue to go out, it just generates.
It just works.
Well, No Man's Sky didn't just work at the start, but yeah, sure, they're getting it better now. But yeah, I would assume like, why would you not go with that? I mean, you'd want to think. You want to leave the possibilities endless for your little sim characters down there. If they were able to kind of start floating around the stars, you wouldn't want them to hit a wall. You wouldn't want the Truman Show, where Jim Carrey's out on the boat and he hits the wall. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he gets out of the boat and he walks up the stairs. You wouldn't want that to happen. And they would be advanced enough to probably stop that from happening. Yeah.
If it is a simulation, though, if you look like most computer games, it's always got sci-fi. Most of the computer games are sci-fi. Pretty much all of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
The ones that we make, if we're replications of basically whatever the simulation is. And they are just like us. Why not put a few bit of sci-fi in it? Some aliens, some UFOs,
some Chewbacca.
Okay, drop in some stimulation. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't buy the simulation theory fully, but I do think it's one of the three. I think there's three things that it could be. I think one, simulation. This is not in any order, by the way. Two, it is just a miracle that we are here, and we started from fucking space dust, and we've made it this far, and maybe we'll make it further. Who knows? And there's probably other things out there, and maybe one of them possibly could make it further, unless they kill themselves. Like all the intelligent people say that, these creatures may not even make it here, because if they become, if they're anything like we are, and we always assume that they're just like us, and they're probably going to kill each other before they make it off their own planet. Or the third one is, and I'm going to get spiritual, but I kind of think it's logical. I think you have to, and I don't know why more scientific people don't actually look at this, that maybe the ancients were right all along, and everything that they've been telling us is that there is a higher being and created everything.
For me,
And
that
who's
makes
to,
no sense.
who's to say he didn't make other, or she, or what, they, them, whatever it is, made multiple civilizations and just say, go, do what you do.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
then
it's
my
possible.
but then my thoughts with that is who created.
Always a loose end, huh? Always a loose
There's
end.
always a loose end. Yeah, there
Yeah,
always
always.
is.
It's almost like it's meant to be that way.
But that's because
God, man.
we made up time.
Yeah. I mean, that the loose end is where all the religions will tell you that that's the faith. Faith ties the loose end. I mean, that's what they'll tell you. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the kind of the three viable things. I think the simulation though is going to get more popular though because AI is just progressing, and it's just going to continue to
stupid
progress.
rate.
Yeah, and it looks like you could sell that theory better and better every day. That's probably that could be what's going on. Sure.
Do you ever think about some of the theories that these things are coming here are us from the future trying to change things?
Sure.
How much thought do you put into that?
I seen a clip of Jesse Michaels talking to I can't remember that guy's name. Mathers, what's his name? Anybody remember his name? Mike Mathers, or I don't know, Jesse Michaels, and them were talking about that, or I think it was them. They were saying that oh no. Excuse me.
Oh, was it on Kirkpatrick, wasn't it?
Yeah, back it way up. I seen a clip of Cole Hart talking about how he thinks that it's potentially us from the future coming back and taking
That
a
was
look
on
at
Kurt's show. Yes.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's where I'm backwards on that then. God, there's so much stuff you watch and it's hard to keep it all straight sometimes. But yeah, we're looking back on what we've done with nuclear weapons. I mean, if there was some nuclear war, how do those future humans exist? I don't know. That doesn't I think that whole theory kind of crunches right there. You know what I mean? Because by the time, because you could say, well, maybe they got off planet, maybe they weren't. I mean, if we're able to get off planet
We've
that
got a
way, I
lot
mean,
of bunkers.
we sure, maybe. But if we were able to get off planet, we'd already have the technology that nukes wouldn't even be an issue anymore. But yeah, I just think that how those people live, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good point. It's a very
I
good
don't
point.
know.
In little flying saucers, obviously.
That we back engineered for sure.
that are like the TARDIS inside, so they're massive.
Yeah, sure. I mean that's quite the bunker. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean the whole time thing, especially with if we're gonna go typically with what they look like, and did you ever hear that theory? I heard this growing up when I first started to see alien greys on TV and stuff like that. And then there was a theory that came out because everybody's typing, they've got 4 fingers because naturally we're going to lose the little finger at some point. It's fucking useless.
Yeah.
Because we've got these big screens, our eyes are going to start getting bigger. Because our sun at some point is going to start fading or getting hotter. I can't remember what it was. I think fading, our skin would become lighter. We'd have we'd have no need for hair for some reason. I mean, if you look at us as something that lives on this planet, we're a bit odd. I mean, some people are hairier than others. I did share a room with Lee.
You found Bigfoot, huh?
No, actually, Dave's hairy than Lee. But we're odd looking compared to anything on this planet. Any mammal on this planet, we are weird. We're just flesh with a bit of beard.
Sure.
little bit of chest hair, other hair, and that, but we
Yeah, but we have a
explain
conscious as
what am I
well.
trying to say? What am I actually trying to say here,
Yeah,
people?
I agree.
We're
The
not. We're
conscious
just
is the
not.
weird thing. Yeah.
We're not just bags of meat. You know, we're more than that. Our ancient past knew a lot more about themselves than we do now. Put it this way, they were more in touch with ourselves. As soon as we're born in this world, guys, we're sucked into this commercial world. That's it. It's one straightforward. You know, but back years ago, you know, they were more in touch with themselves. The consciousness is such a powerful thing. I think you can tap into it, the sort of realm, when you take mushrooms. That's my personal opinion.
Well, what about
It's amazing.
meditation, Nick? What about meditation? I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, nowadays, you know, our meditation is Call of Duty. You know, back then they didn't have anything else to do but sit around and think about themselves and maybe look inward more. I mean, what do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I think that everyone was more philosophy for that sort of aspect. You know, they're trying to find like the meaning of life and trying to figure things out, not like it is today, you know, because people just don't really give a shit. I just think we're more in tuned highly with ourselves thousands of years ago because we didn't have all the distractions that we have today, you know, with all the bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm I'm probably about 10 years older than the pair of you. But I remember a time with no social media.
Yeah,
I'm
me
sure
too.
I'm sure both of you
Yeah,
two
for
do.
sure.
Yeah, I remember.
Fun time.
But my
Yeah.
kids will never ever experience that.
Yeah.
You know, they will never be able to go out and just meet. Well, no, they will be able to go out and meet. That sounds ridiculous. They still will be able to go out and meet random people, but they'll never have that kind of feeling of just being with yourself, truly alone, being with yourself with no distractions. Well, I can remember. I mean, I used to draw. I just don't draw anymore because there's too many distractions for me to even touch art or anything like that. And it's a shame. I should be able to pick up a paintbrush or whatever. And just, but when I was younger, even in my early 20s, I'd be in the room and I'd just draw fucking weird shit. Because there was no distractions, but now there's so much distraction for everybody. I think some people are losing that kind of creativeness, that natural, because as humans, we are all, I believe everybody on this planet is creative to a certain degree, whether it's with drawing, thinking, conversational skills or whatever. I think we've all got our skills, but I do think, and I've seen this in life, speaking to certain people, and I've noticed it myself to a certain degree, that I have become more of a recluse, I think, because of technology.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
that's by design or if that's just the natural progression of how it's supposed to go.
I think it's a natural progression, man. You know, as technology gets better. I mean, you used to have to go to the movie to watch a big screen. It's 70 some inch TVs on your wall that have better high resolution than the movie theaters do. It's right there, and you hit pause, and when you want and go to the bathroom. I always think it's a fun thought experiment to think that if movie theaters never existed and all we ever had was Netflix and all this stuff, we had TVs on the wall. And if somebody came up to you guys and said, "I got a great idea. So we're going to build this building, we're going to put a big screen in there, and we're going to play movies. And you can come pay a ticket and sit down and watch the movie." And you'd say, "Okay, well, there's gonna be a lot of people around you. Okay, well, what if I have to get up and go to the bathroom? Can I pause the movie?" Well, no, because everybody's there. We can't pause it. What about if I want to go up and get a snack? Is there any food that I want in my house? No, dude, movie theaters would never exist. People would say that's the dumbest idea ever.
Can you imagine somebody coming up with that on Dragon's Den now?
Yes. So people would
Yeah,
say
good point.
like, "Dude, a movie theater is a horrible idea. I can sit at my house and watch the movie whenever I want." So if movie theaters wouldn't exist as a new idea now, it's kind of taken over. I mean, there's other technologies that I guess if you think about it, that are probably along that lines. But a lot of it for me, man, is I stay out of trouble, you know, the best I can. I just, you know, I'm married. I'm 33. I ran the bars. I did all that in my 20s, man. I'm over it. you know, I'm more looking forward to the future and trying to build a life, man, more, you know.
Do you remember video stores?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
loved
would
it.
just that was the best thing as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Going to the video store and going through them and like, what film am I going to watch tonight?
Oh,
I can keep them for 2 days. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of these buggers.
It was
It's
great.
like the-
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, like with Blockbuster, you know, the thrill used to get knowing, like, right, I can rent this movie finally. It was such a great buzz, such a great time. But that whole concept now just wouldn't work. You know, it just would not work.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that movie theaters and stuff, they were already kind of going away. And I think after the pandemic, that like shortened its lifespan by another 10, 15 years quicker. It just crunched it even faster.
Yeah, sure.
They're trying to bring it back by trying to make things exclusive. But dude, I'm waiting. Like I went and seen Oppenheimer in the theater. That's only because I knew Nolan wasn't going to let that movie not be in theaters for like 3 months. And I was like, if I'm going to see it, I have to go. But yeah, I mean, me and my wife used to go, Ollie, every weekend when we were dating, we were younger, literally every weekend. I would either go out to her place, she would come out here, we'd pick a movie and go, and it was fun. We don't do that shit anymore, man. And we're watching whatever we're gonna watch now, or gaming, or what have you. But yeah.
I mean, going back to, I know you guys ain't Marvel fans or Star Wars fans, but when I was with them, I've been in Missus for about over 10 years now. We would watch a Marvel movie. Bruce would bang out a Marvel movie twice every year. We would watch it religiously. We'd be there bloody 12 o'clock in the morning. Like, for those in the chat, they would know about Infinity War and Endgame. Those were the best times in cinema history. People were literally losing their shit in the cinema. We were there. Me and the missus were there 12:30 in the morning.
I need to watch these films.
Yeah, it was. Nothing would beat that ever. And it's just a crazy concept how it's just sort of gone now. That whole aspect is gone.
Yeah, Hollywood's leaned way too much on CGI though. It's like every movie nowadays that comes out that's not like a comedy could have just been directed by Michael Bay, most of them. We don't get the story that we used to. The writing, in my opinion, is just not what it was. The Marvel movies are cool, but it's a formula movie, you know? It's the same old thing, and big serious moment, and then to cut the serious moment with a quick joke and then get back to the serious. Like it's
exactly.
It's kind of done. They're cool, man, but like you can't watch that shit forever, you know?
So this is kind of like a really good bit to get it back onto the UFO subject in question.
Yeah, we did get far.
But it's fine. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we've got onto that because now when we're talking about AI, when we're looking at CGI and UFO footage, how much stuff do you think people may have that is on videotapes that we've just not seen? I mean, I know Richie from Goof On.
I stole the words from my mouth, fam.
He has a sack of them.
I know. I'd love to see Rich's stuff, man.
How many people do?
I don't know. How many people have as much as Rich does? I mean, Rich goes way back.
How many?
Man. I mean,
how many people have footage that may have died?
I
that
mean,
we
maybe
just haven't seen. There could be all sorts out there.
Yeah.
Wasn't Logan Paul supposed to have an amazing footage?
I know that's never came out either.
Who said it?
Well done, Nick. Well done. Let's get onto that subject. There you go. Well done. I was hankering for that. I was waiting, and Nick bet you to it ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Who said that they seen the footage and it was close enough you can chuck a rocket at it? He said it on Joe Rogan. I can't bloody remember.
James Fox.
Remember?
It was James Fox.
Was it really? Am I right on that? Oh my god, dude!
I'm pretty sure. It was James Fox on.
I think you might be right on that one.
Oh god, that's pulled right out of my ass, dude. I don't know. It sounds like James Fox.
James Fox has gone through some shit recently. There's something going on there.
Maybe he ain't getting paid. You know, you got to pay daddy, bro. He's having trouble. They're all having trouble, man, for sure. They all need to band together and take all the money that they've made and make their own production company. if they're gonna do that, you know.
Yeah, do it, boys.
I don't know.
James Fox would bang out a documentary every year, wouldn't he?
No,
I mean, he needs to put some fucking evidence out, though, dude. I mean, I don't mind him like making some fun documentaries and doing that stuff and making some money, but dude, like put something out that's real too, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, the Brazilian footage. Oh, I can't remember what his name.
Yeah, and don't promote your documentary. Don't debate us. Don't act like you're going to put the footage in the film and then don't put the footage in the film. Like that's the stuff that irritates me. I don't care if he wants to make a documentary about Virginia. Who cares? Great, that's great. Just don't tell me there's going to be footage and there's not, bro.
You think
Come on.
something happens there?
It's the same thing with Corbell. Don't make the Babelzar documentary, and then in the middle of it, act like you're going to show us where the 115 is, and then cut to black. Don't do that stuff, man. That's what irritates the community of the people that want to know. It irritates true believers, in my opinion, too. People that really think everything is real. Pisses everybody off, dude. You know, whether or not they want to admit it.
Yeah.
But you said they shouldn't have any hooks.
Well, I mean, you can have hooks, man.
You've got to have a hook. You've got to have a hook. If you want to sell the documentary, you have to have that kind of like.
Yeah, but hook the story.
Sell it.
Hook the story, man. You know, hook. Why? Like at the end of the day, like you're making a documentary about an alien that supposedly ran around in Virginia, Brazil, right? So that's the hook. That's a story about the alien. If that's not going to make you a ton of money that you want. Sorry, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like that should be enough. You know what I mean? Maybe
what do you think about the Virginia UFO? I mean, I bought the documentary, and I do enjoy James Fox documentaries. That was my worst, and the main reason why that was my worst one was because I couldn't fucking read the subtitles fast enough, if I'm honest with you.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was emotion from one of the brilliant Brazilian guys. I remember that in there when
it was here.
That was good acting.
That's your hook. Yeah, but see, that's the hook though, Ali, right? Like that's the interesting thing. Play that up in your trailer.
Do you think they hooked James Fox, or do you think James Fox might have gotten to do that?
No, look, James Fox, if you're able to make documentaries like he makes, he's not stupid. I mean, he knows. He's a smart guy. You have to have smarts to direct movies, man. 100%. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of money. Pre-production is insane to try to go around and figure out where you're going to go. How much is this going to cost? Because he's there to make a profit, 100%. It takes a lot of work. You got to be intelligent to do that for sure.
Do you believe that he didn't want to touch that case? Or do you think he was always going to touch that case? That was just part of the story. Because he did say he didn't want to touch this case to start off with.
I think that's a good marketing thing. I don't even know if I want, it's so crazy. I don't know if I want to touch it. It's a good little marketing thing to make it sound like it's, mysterious. And of course he wants to talk about it. Yeah. I mean, he's got those movies of himself running around the desert, jumping around with guns. I mean, he wants to touch everything, I think. I'd have a beer with him, Ali. I'm not saying he's a scumbag, doesn't deserve to live.
No.
I'd have a beer with the guy, but I would, while we were having the beer, go, hey, dude, maybe on the next movie, don't bullshit us.
No, but do you remember what I? No, but do you remember what I said when we was talking about like Lou and when you've got? I'm not saying that James Fox is on a mission, because his mission is just. I generally think he likes the UFO subject.
Yeah,
very much.
For sure.
Enjoys making UFO documentaries. Why not enjoy making money on what you love? That's fantastic. One thing with the Virginia instant the whole thing that happened is that there is a story that goes before James Fox.
Sure.
Way back. He wasn't in on it then. It's just the delivery. He may have delivered it wrong to the UFO community.
Right.
And that is a massive. We spoke about gaming before, and you see like fucking Todd Howard with his Skyrim and his next Skyrim and Starfield that's just come out, and how great it's going to be. There's a lot of expectation, And I think
Sure.
with that UFO case in particular, the UFO community didn't know a lot about it. They knew it was there. Because I didn't.
I mean, I had heard about it, but I don't know a whole lot about it prior to that. No.
Yeah, because also the language barrier of that country and the information that we got.
Sure.
We got so many different. We got myths about fucking demons. We got all sorts of stuff. We got myths about a radioactive man or whatever. And I do appreciate him going in there to get the story. But I don't think you're ever going to satisfy the UFO community. You're not going to. He didn't satisfy me with that. He didn't satisfy you with that. I don't think you're ever going to get that.
Look, Ali, these guys want like job money. They want money. They want this to be their career.
Alien. We want an alien.
No, I get it. I get it. But they can still do that. But it's not gonna. They want this topic to be their career. And unless you bullshit, there's not enough money in it to make it a career.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be a filmmaker. He could go make movies about whatever he wanted. You know, he wants to be in this topic though, but he has to understand that if he wants to be in this topic and you want to go investigate it and figure out what's really going on, that you might not come back and make as much money as you would if you said, hey, we might have the footage. The money is just not there. I get why he does it for sure. But you have to remember, he doesn't think he's hurting the community. He said it himself. Even if we had the footage, people would just say it's fake. So he doesn't think it's a problem because if he had it or not, it wouldn't make a difference. I say it does make a difference. I want the real stuff. I want to hear what really happened there. You know what I mean? I don't want to be baited into buying it at the end of the day.
Do you believe something happened there?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Sure. I mean, the Travis Walton case is possible. It's all possible. You know, any of that stuff is possible. But I don't know what to believe about Virginia. No. I know that he don't have any footage, and I know he marketed it that way. And I don't think that's okay for sure. We can't stand for that stuff, Ali. We can't, right? We can't make excuses for that. That doesn't help us get anywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, I did buy it on the back of thinking I was going to get some sort of.
Doesn't that piss you off a little bit though? Like, aren't you kind of?
No,
like,
it was the subtitle. It was the subtitles that pissed me off more than anything.
I mean, Nick, what do you think? Did you buy it? Did you watch it?
No. No.
Yeah.
No, because what I did.
Don't mention don't mention naughty ways of watching things on here, Nick. Just in case.
Don't worry, it's all good. No, I listened to Rich first. Rich, who was on it, first of all, I was talking about Rich from Goof On. He reviewed it. He said there's no alien footage. I thought, well, I'm not watching it then because it's just a bunch of stories. Okay, I've heard it all before. I've got a magazine here talking about Bloody Virginia case back in 1996. It's nothing new. It's something I've heard before. But like I said, he's a documentary filmmaker. Of course, he's going to hype things up. I want that fucking footage. Otherwise, I would have bought it. But I'm not wasting my money on stories that I've heard before. Sorry.
Nick's a shill, people. I've just realized this every time we mention something. Like before, it was like the Tom DeLonge spaceship. He pulls the Tom DeLonge spaceship out. The Virginia UFO case. He's got a magazine right next to him. What's going on? What is going on, Nick? Oh, on a serious note, though, let's have a look at the front page of that magazine.
Oh, what that? That?
So is that on that case?
No. This is I got it here somewhere. I've got a load.
Oh right. Oh, do you just use that as an example? Sorry,
No.
I thought you said I got right here.
I got a stack of UFO magazines. I've got it somewhere. It's like the front cover of the artist's impression of the alien, crouched over and all that. It's literally the whole magazine is dedicated to it. It's exactly the same shit, I would imagine. Like I said, I haven't watched the documentary, so I can't clarify anything. But again, it's just a bunch of stories that I've heard before.
Yeah, Ali, when you ask me, like, what do I think about that case? And the reason why I say is I don't know is because, man, I used to like really put a lot of stock in stuff like that. And then when you realize that certain cases and a lot of that stuff is BS, I believe there's a phenomenon. I believe something's going on. But dude, I just can't put stock in stuff that we don't have more proof in anymore. I won't do that anymore. You know what I mean? So I can't just jump to a conclusion. Like if he'd have had the footage in there and it was something decent, yeah, we can go off that. I don't mind people making documentaries and making money. It's just, can we not BS the public at the same time, man? Like I know you're not going to make as much, but you'll live, you know? I don't know. I won't put stock in stuff as easily as I did.
What's going on with this? Do you think it's going to be something or nothing? This Logan Paul footage. This not Logan. That originally the footage that Logan Paul got in his button cam. Do you think? What do you think of that?
I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, let's look at it. Let's see it. I'm not going to down it before we see it.
I mean, let's face it. The days leading up to that, the UFO community, the UFO channels will go crazy. We'll milk that shit.
It'll be quite the spotlight on the UFO community if he ever were to do that. Everyone who follows him, all the mainstream kids, teenagers, everyone's going to look at ufology.
It's coming out. I've heard it's
has he said that?
Yeah, I've heard it's going to be on Netflix. Where did I hear this shit the other day?
Oh God,
it's going to be a Netflix documentary.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hey
this
man,
it's a fucking business shit, man. I'm just sick of this stuff.
Look, if you want to see that alien, you're gonna have to pay me, man. Come on now.
Dude, at least if it's any better than the bloody pixelated garbage that bloody Corbell put out.
If it's real, I'll give him $50, dude. Okay, can we get past? Let's just move past it then. If it's real,
if you get the alien though, what are you gonna do with it? You know, if you get the money shot.
I mean, more questions.
Are you just gonna put it straight away out on terrestrial material? Are you?
Oh, if I had one.
Yeah, you get the fucking money shot, mate. You get
if I had
the alien comes into your house, and you capture that full on.
I don't know. I wouldn't take it to mainstream media right away. That seems silly.
No.
I mean, if there is anything like Mockingbird going on like that,
I would say
taking
it to mainstream media. I'd say putting it out straight away wouldn't be silly.
Why do you say that?
Because I think you'd be probably safe if you did that. You would be safe.
Yeah, I would try to get it out as far as I could. You know what I mean? Reddit, places like that, upload it all over the place. I mean, people do that and it just kind of gets knocked down. But like,
would you want to make some money on it though?
I mean, is there money to make on it? I don't know. I think you still have to put together a product.
You got a fucking alien in your house.
Yeah, but you still have to like make a product, right? I mean, even if the channel like popped off, I mean, because of that, I don't even know like how much money could you really make off that in that short of a time frame.
You could sell your fucking carpet that had aliens fucking feet on it, you know.
You've thought about this more than me, Ali, I guess.
You can sell everything. Here's the phone that captured it. I'll sell you. I'll sell you.
Sure. I mean,
100,000.
I don't care. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, like I said, if I was in this for the money, I wouldn't even have started a YouTube channel, man. I mean, it's not why I'm here. I'd rather get the truth out to people who could do something with it, and maybe we could push things forward. I mean, I want the truth, dude. That's worth way more. Like, right? Isn't that worth more to anybody else? Am I the only one like who thinks that's like being able to have society change, to be able to have the world change? No more fuel, no more having to, be a struggle to go around, see things in the world that are cool and getting people together and seeing your friends that are in England.
If it is really all going to be free, then I'm up for that.
Well, I mean, even if it's not free, I mean, the amount of money that you could get it down to, as long as it's handled right and there's not no BS going on.
This whole free energy thing that people keep saying about it, once you get disclosed, you'll get free. I don't buy that for a second.
I mean, they could monetize it. Sure, you could. You probably would have to in certain respects because you're gonna have production, you're gonna have maintenance. Yeah, I mean, there probably is something there. But I mean, you're talking about everyone realizing that the costs are way lower than what we're doing now. Look, I don't have anything against making money. I don't know. I want to know what's going on with this topic. There's always money there. Dude, there's more to life than money, guys. There's way more to life than that.
How do we actually know it's free energy?
I mean, it's the best guess. I mean, I've heard
We
people
are,
talk about like
am
nuclear
I
drones and
right?
stuff.
We are guessing. So
Well, sure.
when we see
Sure, I don't have a
flying-
picture of the system, Ali. Do you? I don't have a picture of the engine.
that you hear that argument so much when it comes to flying saucers, extraterrestrial craft, the Tic Tac, whatever it's using free energy. How the fuck do they know it's using free energy? They just, I mean, am I being really thick?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a good question.
no,
Sure. No. I just think it's a good guess. I mean, unless you want to go the 115 route, that maybe not that it's necessarily actually 115, but maybe there's some element that's out in a different galaxy somewhere that they're able to take a part of.
But that's the argument they use all the time, is the hiding this. You hear Stephen Greer's free energy. Everybody says free energy.
Well, I mean,
I'm just like, how do we know it's free energy?
Well, I think that there's evidence, or at least like,
how do we? It may be even like more detrimental to the planet than the stuff that we're using now. For all we know, how we don't know this. Maybe that's why there's so few of them, because it's fucking dangerous.
Well, they theorize that the energy in the vacuum of space, though. I mean, if that's the case, then the energy's all around you, essentially free. I mean, you know what I mean? If they're able to tap into that.
Don't get me wrong, it probably is free energy. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, no,
I just want
I
to
agree.
put a spanner in the works.
Well, they're saying is anti-gravity is basically free energy. That's the hypothesis, what they're saying.
Yeah, it's been a long time theory. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, you've got look at Elon Musk with his cars, and the lithium batteries. Those batteries, and to get those batteries is a process that is fucking quite lethal to the planet.
I was just pulling up. Go ahead. Yeah.
To actually get that in the first place. So I'm just wondering, to get this in the first place, what's the process to get it?
Well, they didn't have to look too far with people that's created free energy, free method propulsions, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, Victor Schauberger, Stanley Meyer. There's a whole bunch of them. Obviously, all these people are dead, all been paid off. They just kill you now. Anti-gravity, that's cracked. Free energy has been cracked. Fucking look at Nikola Tesla. What he was
that's
doing.
one that I do think had. What I would do to is it apparently Donald Trump's granddad or something that bought Nikola Tesla?
No, so
Tesla's office or something.
No. What happened? So Donald Trump's uncle was named John Trump. And what happened when Nikola Tesla died? Because Nikola Tesla mentioned in a newspaper article that he created a death ray. He had all these fancy new patents, basically patents, for a better word. So as soon as he died, which is 1940s, I think Nikola Tesla died alone. The only thing that he had was a pet pigeon. That's not a joke, by the way. And John Trump went in with the FBI and seized all the documents, everything, including the death ray, which apparently he actually built, I believe. Dark Journalist. I strongly recommend Daniel from Dark Journalist. He is nailing everything.
Great channel, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, he's done some amazing work into the JFK assassination. Fuck me, it goes deep. Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy shit. Sorry, what were we talking about again?
The death ray, Nikola Tesla.
Death ray, sorry, that was it. Yeah, so basically, yeah, John Trump is basically Donald Trump's uncle, and he went there and took all the documents when Nikola Tesla died. So there are patents out there. I mean, Nikola Tesla made like a car that ran on the ether of the earth. The big tower that he built, I can't remember what it's called, the one he made in California, that can shoot energy. You can stick a light bulb in the ground and it'll bloody light up, Have you seen the picture of Nikola Tesla holding a light bulb?
Yeah, it's just it's
literally just holding the light bulb. It's not connected to anything.
Something to do with the ground, isn't it?
No, he's using the frequencies in the room to power the fucking light bulb.
Yeah, that's it.
where is this technology? We don't need to link up the bloody lampposts, and we could just shoot the energy. If you would have built that tower and successfully built it, we would have had cell phone technology back in 1910s, like this 1910 technology. It's been so restricted of what the people can have. I mean, everything what we have in technology wise it's nothing new. It's decades old. I mean, look at Nikola Tesla. Where does the name Tesla come from? Tesla cars. It came from Nikola Tesla because the battery that Nikola Tesla used, that's what Elon Musk is using. He's using AC, AC and DC, direct current and alternative current.
I thought you said AC/DC then.
That's what it is. That's what the name is. DC is direct current and AC is alternative current. And Nikola Tesla created alternative current, which is the one that we're all using now, thanks to him. And that's what they're using in the batteries, the main components for these cars. And that's why Elon Musk called his cars Tesla, because he fucking stole Tesla's technology. It's decades old. It's like 100-year-old technology. And now we're just about using. Have you seen the electric cars in the 1907s? You got electric cars.
I believe I've seen a couple of pictures. I'm sure you've got some, Nick.
It's unbelievable. There's electric cars from 19010, and you've got bloody electric charging points. 80% of New York cars in 1910s were electric. Have you seen electric scooters as well?
80% of cars in 1910,
1920s. Yeah, 1910 and 1920s were electric cars. I'm gonna bring some photos up. Let's have a little look. So all this technology is nothing new. Well, it took about 24 hours to charge, but this is 1910. So you
how many
can
hours?
imagine
20 hours to charge.
Yeah, 20 hours to charge. But you think that's 1910?
Oh, so if your wife's pregnant, you're fucked.
That's it. You're absolutely fucked.
Honey, can you get me some ice cream? You're gonna have to wait a little bit, love.
Let's bring this up.
I like the Tesla quote where he's like, "One day, man will connect his apparatus to the very wheelwork of the universe." I love that quote.
See this?
So there you go. That was my thing, Ali. It was like, this is kind of what we think, It's kind of our best guess.
So there we are, guys. Here is electric point with electric car.
It looks like a pram.
Doesn't it? And this is early 1920s. So it's nothing new, guys. Nothing new. And you've got the electric scooters as well. Have you seen those?
These are just cool looking cars anyway. Either way.
I know, they're awesome.
The wheels. Ali, have you looked into a lot of stuff with Tesla? I never have looked really far into him.
No, I think we could probably do a show on it.
I mean, I've heard like the stuff that's out there and quotes, and I don't know.
We did. I know it's not Nikola Tesla, but kind of like a little bit further back. We did a full show on Aleister Crowley, and it took about 3 weeks to like look into the whole the man himself before we even touched on it. So I can't even imagine what it would be doing a show on Nikola Tesla.
Can you guys?
I mean, that's
scooter?
ahead. Yes, that's way ahead. That's like the scooters you see people going around with today.
Dude, they were scooting, huh?
Yeah, and this is 1910. It's ancient technology.
That's mad.
Yeah, nothing new, guys. Nothing new. Just old technology. Just to say, oh, it's all greener when it is come from the same bloody power plant.
You've heard of Vimanas, haven't you? You heard of Vimanas? Vimanas, yeah. The maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong. Like Indian culture. With the UFOs, like cities in the skies.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
I've seen those videos that came out a couple years ago, right? All the cities in the skies. There's all that stuff, man.
Was that like
tons of stuff.
Yeah, those were those ones that came out of was it China, and they were showing like how. Yeah, but have you heard of Vimanas?
No.
So I don't know how it's spelled, but basically, there's drawings on like books that are from like 200 years ago. I think older, in fact, with like what looks to be these kind of cities in the sky in Indian culture, that were like these floating cities, and they were called I'm probably destroying the name. I think it's Vimanas or Hermanas, and basically they were a form of transportation for like they believe of like gods or whatever.
Right. Makes sense.
But there is so many drawings of these things. It's insane. And sometimes I wonder, like going back to Graham Hancock and different cultures, maybe there was a lost civilization that built its way. You look at the Nazca lines, and you've got those. I mean, forget the shitty drawings on the ground that are giant. I mean, they're great and all, but they're not exactly like Picasso, are they?
Ollie?
Yeah, that's like a CGI rendered picture of it. But if you actually, if you look through them, you may find a real drawing of that thing on some old like put real in front of it. Ancient flying machines from India, but real picture or whatever.
Oh, let's look. So there's a
There
real
you
painting
go.
of it,
There
is
you
there?
go. There you go. There's loads of real paintings of these things. So if you go, that one
like
there,
that.
that's a real one.
That's cool.
Oh, right. That's interesting.
There's loads of
Those
these.
cities,
Absolutely loads of these cities that were floating in the sky.
That's crazy, isn't it? I'd love to ride on one of those.
Yeah, me too. You and me both, mate.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got like some of the. I watched a documentary on like airships being older than what they're telling you they are.
Yeah.
People going around in airships.
A lot of people reported airships as UFOs years ago, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
They did, yeah.
Grant Cameron's big on like that progression.
Mhm.
I'd love to talk to him, dude. Try to get a hold of
I
Grant.
think I've got his email.
Yeah, he'd be cool to talk to, man. I'd let him just go full woo, have some fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm a big believer in letting people just speak and finding out who they are.
Yeah, he's got a take on all of it that's really not mainstream. That's obviously he's way more into the metaphysical side of it and everything. It'd be cool to talk to him and interview him, man, for sure.
It'd be good to get somebody like him and Graham around the same table, and
Wow, yeah.
just put a joint in the middle and go. Go. just sit back,
Like
and
your death.
listen to them, just watch them, and just watch where the conversation goes. It would be, that would be fun.
Yeah, Grant.
So,
Yo, go ahead. Yeah.
no, what were you gonna say about Graham?
No, I was gonna say Grant says he's got true passion, man. He goes out there and took all those photos, standing in that library all day when they were going through all those documents, and he really gets out there, man. He's serious.
I watched your last show on your kind of review on Timothy Alberino and Rekka's trip.
Yeah.
Which everybody should go and watch that, but also go watch Terrestrial Materials review of it, because you said some really interesting things on the back of that. It's like, because I know I said, I think it was it last week's show, I said to everybody to go watch it. You guys went and watched it, and then you did a show on the back of it, and you were surprised.
Yeah, I was.
There's no
Um,
grift there.
no, I mean, not now. I mean, I mean, I don't really see one in the future because
I think they
I think,
spent more money than they made.
I mean, probably. I mean, I think it was on the back of like I was saying in the episode, more on back of like a mission trip style
Mm.
thing. So I think they did a lot of good when they were there for sure. I can't really spot the bad. I don't
No.
know. Like, and you know what, Ali? Some people would hear me say that and be like, "Oh, you're falling for the grift." It's like, dude, I mean, I don't. Where is it? They didn't bring a photo of an alien back. They didn't bring back grainy bad footage. They didn't anything. They said they showed you what they did. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that is basically a story came out, somebody got off their ass and went, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong. They help those people. I mean, even if at the end of the day, you could say, well, they're teaching them how to use all these guns to fight these fake things. Well, no, I mean, it's good that they're learning how to use weaponry. Cool. They're not shooting each other. They're not hurting each other. Great. I don't see any issue there. And it seemed like the people were very welcoming of them when they got there. They didn't seem like they didn't want them there. They weren't, it didn't seem like they were forcing themselves onto this village of people. I don't know. I'm failing to see where the bad could have been. Have you heard negative from it? I haven't heard. I haven't really looked too much.
No,
I mean,
I've not really looked. We've got Rekka coming on tomorrow, people. Who was out there with Timothy? Both of them. Rekka was doing. Timothy speaks the language, so he was speaking to a lot of the Peruvian people, finding out what's going on, what these people are seeing. They all seem to see the same thing. Doug went out there. He helped the people setting up their perimeters and security, looking after their weapons. It's going to be interesting. We've got Doug on tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, Sunday. But yeah, I liked your take on that. I think you did a really good job.
thank you, man. How about French with the Ronin mask?
Yeah,
that was interesting, man. He pulled that one out. I was like, oh man.
I'm glad you said that because I couldn't think of the name of the fucking mask.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask Dutch about that. Doug about that.
Those masks are in the first one. Time I ever seen those, they were in the game Escape from Tarkov. They have their full head mask, and do they look weird? No doubt about it.
It's so interesting that they said like the little girl said they spoke one had a Peruvian accent, the other one the gringo. Like that I find fascinating.
Yeah, for sure.
These and she did look very intimidated with both of them too.
Yeah, agreed. And her dad there, she's got to be uncomfortable, man.
I find that I would say, and it's not just because we're covering it, but I do find that one of the most interesting cases of this year. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a look at it, dude, for sure.
So
Yeah.
what you got coming up this week, Saturday show?
I mean, we're gonna go over just a lot of the news, and we've done some of that here today, but we're gonna pull out some tweets and kind of get a good feel for what's really been going on lately. But I mean, I shot I took a shot. I tried to get Green Street for Saturday, but no dice. And I was hoping, I was
Did
like,
you
man,
reply?
no.
I dissed you.
I went for it. I said, well, it's good. He's telling me no. That's all he can tell me. But no, I don't know. It's near the holidays. You know, who knows? We got a tiny channel, you know, compared to anything. He's probably going to get asked to go on. He probably turns down much bigger channels. So I understand. But yeah, I mean, you keep trying. I mean, we want to keep getting guests, man. Guests are a lot of fun, and there's a lot of people that we still want to talk to on the channel. So we're gonna have shows where, like, with tomorrow, where we kind of look over ufology and what's been going on, or maybe like a review, like we did with the Peru case, stuff like that. But guests are really the goal, because I think that's where our channel shines a lot. I think we try to get the questions and get stuff out of the guests that these guys are not typically talking about when they go on shows. You know, a little bit more in depth.
Yep, I'll look forward to that. So this Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
You're going to be talking about the field in general.
Yeah, we're gonna have a discussion. Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. You know, we want to go over just a lot. I mean, there's so much, dude. You know, where we going? And so Saturday, 7 Eastern, right on here on YouTube, Terrestrial Material. Absolutely.
Yep.
Or as Rich says, Terrestrial Material. As Rich says.
Material.
But
What's
yeah.
that spin on it?
You know, it's funny.
Nick.
Yes.
What about yourself, my lad? Well, how's the documentary coming on?
I'm still fucking editing. It's taking me ages. Yeah, I'm getting there. Bear by, guys. I'm getting there. I'm just adding bits and pieces. Just make sure it sounds smooth. You know, I've got to redo things and all this. Make sure it's picture perfect. So yeah.
I think after that, maybe you want to touch on that Tom DeLonge UFO that they were going to make.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch that. I don't know. It's a waste of time. If I like, for instance, if I see aircraft that people say, "Oh, this is new and fancy," I guarantee I've got it in these books here. That's been thought of before, decades before. So
even if you only went like 10 minutes on it, though, Nick, I mean, I think a lot of people have never seen that comparison.
I'd never seen it.
Yeah, I think you if you do take 8-10 minute video, I think you'd be surprised, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool for sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to focus on one project because there's a big one to get done. But I would like to get. I just want to get like these small ones done. So yeah, I guess so. But yeah, bear with me, guys. I will get some content out.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me being selfish. We like to see your stuff, Nick. So you know, we want to see more.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
I just want to say, to the whole community, a massive thank you for the massive support that Alien Addict has had over the last few months. But we couldn't do this without the guests. So when we do put links in the description, and especially with Nick and Ice Cream, I want you to go on, head on over, support these guys, because the more subscribers that they get, I remember what it's like when you're trying to build it. It kind of gives you that urge to do more, because you see the build up, so you think, actually, yeah, I'm gonna get off my ass and do more, or I'm gonna try and go for this guest, or I'm gonna try and do this research and spend time on this video because it's worth my time, because the people want to see it. So go on over in the links in the description below, head on over, subscribe. Let's get both of these two to over 300 subscribers for the new year. Please help these guys out, because they're here. They help us out as a channel. I want to help them out.
Thanks, man, dude. That means a lot, bro. Thanks, dude.
Listen, I only have you. I have you guys on for a reason. I like what you do. I like what you bring to the table.
I appreciate it, bro. I'll come anytime, man. I have fun. Conversations are great. It's been cool to meet you guys and to call you guys friends, man, for sure. It's been very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, boys,
man, honestly,
I'm gonna
awesome.
I'm gonna say goodnight. God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Make sure you check us out on Sunday when we're gonna talk about the Peru incident again. And next Sunday, we've got we're going to be talking about the Nephilim, and we have a guy coming on from the UK that Nick has got in touch with. Lee has got in touch with, and he has a theory on clowns and the Nephilim. I've listened to a couple of this guy's podcasts, and it's wild, people. So that's going to be a great show. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Like, share, and subscribe. All that jazz. Catch you later.
Days ago, this person finished his career at the Department of Defense as one of the senior covert intelligence officers in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. I think you need to really listen carefully to what he says. And I still, even working our way up to today, I get the chills when you say it. So I want you to all meet
Lou Elizondo, would you come to the stage?
I promise I will try not to yammer on too long. But I think the same time next year, we're going to have a fundamentally different conversation. I think disclosure already occurred. I don't think necessarily disclosure is an event. I think it's a process. And I think that process began.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program.
I can't comment on anything he's told other people. The only way we can get anything that he has shared to other people is if he gives permission to them to share it, because he's protected under those same laws. But I have a whole range. I've got almost 40 other people that have come in and provided a lot of rich information that we've been investigating and cross-referencing and researching and trying to figure out the truth of it. And again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that is what's going to go into Volume 1.
Yeah, I mean, I was making a joke and saying it looks like Kermit the Frog.
And by the way, Lou, I do love you. Definitely not a flat earther. Elon is.